This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Hey y'all, I'm April.
And I'm Caroline.
And this is your Bloody Happy Hour. Caroline, are you ready for this?
This is your newest guilty pleasure.
It's the bloodiest part of your week.
Did we say something about it also being happy hour?
Show did.
Because we about to be sipping on some murder. Bloody happy hour.
Hey y'all, this is April.
And this is Caroline.
So this podcast is called Bloody Happy Hour.
Welcome. What do we do here?
We tell a bloody story. It's true crime.
True crime.
We drink alcohol.
We have alcohol.
Yeah, we try to make you not cry during the episode, so we
add a little levity to it, and we just do the things, and we just, it's...
try to have a little fun while we're telling you a story.
Yeah.
So welcome.
Welcome to the show.
So did I say my name is April?
I don't know. Did I say... Wait, you're Rachel, and I'm Christina. Is that right? Or who am I?
What is your name?
I don't know. I mean, I'm really Caroline, but you're really April, but sometimes we get confused with our names.
Erica, you're Erica.
Erica.
Yeah.
I'm Erica, and you're April.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm glad we figured that out.
So I got a story today, and we are going to Philadelphia.
Okay.
I don't even know if we've ever been to
I
Philadelphia.
don't know. Like, is this like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Born and raised. And we are going to the 1940s.
Oh, my. Okay. Good stuff.
And we have covered this type of story before, but is the first ever type of story, first documented type of story before. The first ever fetal abduction ever documented.
Ooh.
Ever.
Ever.
In U.S.
Ever.
So let's meet a girl named Margaret Sweeney. She was born in the 1940s, and she actually married a man named James, but they divorced pretty early on. And she had 3 daughters, but the daughters ended up living with her dad, and they lived in New Jersey, okay? The daughters and their grandpa lived in New Jersey. And this is November of 1974, and she ended up getting pregnant with her 4th daughter, and she had an 18-month-old girl named Tammy. So 3 of her kids lived with her dad. She had her 18-month-old, and she was currently pregnant, so maybe she didn't believe in birth control. I don't know.
And maybe they didn't have it back then.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe she was Catholic. Maybe pull-out game was very weak. I don't know. But there was a stigma against single mothers back then, too. So, but Margaret was a very, very good mom. Even though single moms were very frowned upon, she was a very good mom, and her kids were well taken care of. We're going to meet another girl named Winifred Ransom. And she was a little older than Margaret, and she had a partner named John. So they weren't really married. They were common law married. Great. So Winifred and John, common law married. She was very kind. She was loving. And her and John really wanted kids, and they were just devastated time after time after time because she would get pregnant, but she could never bring these babies to term. She has had 6 or 7 miscarriages.
That sucks.
It does suck for Winifred and John because they would be great parents according to their friends.
Yeah.
So in 1974, Winifred is pregnant again. Like her boobs got bigger, her belly got big, and her walk kind of went to a little waddle. Her nose even seemed to get bigger.
Oh, no.
And her friends and her family got so excited.
So I cannot get pregnant.
Your nose does get big. It's big.
No, I would go straight for surgery. Mine's wide enough. It's fine.
Yours isn't wide.
Oh, yeah.
So Margaret and Winifred cross paths at a local hat shop, and they meet and they end up having so much in common. They were both pregnant, and they both like to sew. And they both happen to be due at the same time.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's pretty cool.
It is all red flags. I think
it's great. It's a connection they have that they're like going to have the babies together.
I just feel like who wants to be friends with a pregnant person?
Another pregnant person. Because then you can be pregnant together and do baby stuff together and you go have your baby.
Listen, if you're pregnant, don't get any new friends.
Get a pregnant friend.
No, that is really a red flag because they are probably not pregnant, and then they're going to steal your baby
together. I don't know. I've never been pregnant, so I don't know about being.
If you're pregnant, no new friends. There's the rule.
Okay, you don't have to have a new. Not a new friend.
Don't join pregnant pages because that's how Taylor Parker Ray found.
Yes,
hers.
Yeah, don't make a new be friends with somebody, a current friend who happened to become pregnant at the same time you did.
Nope, that's Heidi Broussard. No new friends.
Okay, well, it's not a new friend. What if it's a friend that you've known or
for your
relative?
Whole life? You could keep them.
Okay.
Only those.
Okay, facts.
No new people in your life if you're pregnant.
That is true.
There's your rule.
Period.
Period.
End of sentence.
So November 13th, 1974, brand new friends, Winifred and Margaret. Winifred decides she wants Margaret to come over because they just hit it off.
Of course.
So she decides to invite Margaret and Margaret's daughter, Tammy, over, and they are hanging out and they're eating, okay? And Margaret just decides she doesn't feel good all of a sudden. So Winifred's like, lay down on the couch, take a nap. I will watch Tammy, which to me is just such a weird name for an 18-month-old.
I mean, it's just like, Bob or something for a little boy, little Bob.
I know. There's no kids named Tammy, I feel like. But anyways.
Gertrude. My grandma's Edith. We call her E-Dog, but she gone now. But we love her.
So Winifred watched Tammy for Margaret while she lay down on the couch and she took a little nap. And then Tammy got sleepy and she eventually fell asleep. So Winifred was like, I'm going to go in the kitchen and I'm going to wash these dishes.
Oh.
And she's washing the dishes and she washed the knife. And instead of putting the knife in the actual block where the knife goes, she actually grabbed the knife, took it to the couch. And
what was she taking to the couch? Was she trying to do something with the couch cushion?
She just decided to be a good friend, and she performed a C-section for her friend Margaret.
Oh, well, that was nice of her. She was in distress.
She was just like, you know what?
Was Margaret in distress?
Let me save you some money. Okay, don't go to the hospital.
Okay.
Let's do the C-section here.
Great. She was probably like, yeah, let's do this.
Don't go to the hospital. Let's C-section right here on my couch.
Oh,
so she performed actually a perfect C-section.
Wow, she studied up.
She pulled the baby out, and right now she's just a good friend.
I feel like if I was in distress and I was like, "Hey, I feel like I need to have the baby," I would be like, "April, can you come over here and get my kitchen knife and do my C-section for me?"
Yeah, and I might actually do it.
Yeah.
But Winifred goes left when she decides to channel her inner Candy Montgomery.
Oh, no.
And she grabs a hatchet.
Oh, no.
And
what she need a hatchet for? She already did the surgery.
You know what? She decides to hit her new friend Margaret 20 freaking times.
With the hatchet?
With the hatchet.
Okay, well, I thought she was her friend.
Yeah, not anymore. Not anymore. And then the hatchet wasn't good enough. Oh, so she put the hatchet down. She went and got a gun and she shot her 3 times.
Well, that's not a friend at all.
She went past friendship.
She just went to the next level, and I do not approve of that.
No, Winifred. I told you, no new friends, pregnant people.
No, this is why.
Especially if their name is Winifred.
Especially if it's Winifred, because I don't know Winifred, Winifred. Like I don't know
Winifred. So hatchet, gun. She's got the baby.
Mad?
Baby's taken care of.
Baby's out. Baby's good. Umbilical cord's cut. Placenta. She probably ate the placenta.
Tammy sleeping. Got a good nap going on. So she calls her nephew, Robert. She must be a good aunt because nephew Robert comes over.
Winifred.
And Winifred's nephew. Robert comes over to help her dispose of the body. And they just like wrap it up like in a tarp and they put it under the floorboards of the house. Which you hear that a lot. So I guess maybe it's like a
secret passageway, like where you hit one floorboard, you can knock and it's hollow, and they got a basement or something.
I guess you could just like peel them up, and
I guess back in the day, yeah,
put them underneath,
just throw them under there, get rid of them.
And then he grabbed Tammy, put Tammy in Margaret's car, drove Margaret into this city and Philadelphia, and then just abandoned Margaret's car. Tammy's still asleep in the back seat, and just left it there.
Where's the daddy? Did we get to that point?
We don't know who.
We don't know who impregnated
Margaret. No, we don't know.
Okay. Well,
I mean, she got a couple baby daddies because she got 3 kids.
I ain't judging.
All they said is Margaret was a good mama. That's all they said.
Well, she probably just was, had an accidental thing here and a thing there, and it's fine. But
Margaret
now Tammy is in the car all by herself, abandoned.
And
Winifred, why doesn't Winifred want Tammy? Because she wants to have her own baby.
She wants a baby.
Because she's pregnant, allegedly.
Yeah. So now Winifred's partner / common law husband, John, came home from work. And Winifred was so excited to show him their new baby.
Oh, my God.
And she said, John, look, while you were at work, I had the baby. Oh. And so he looked down at her stomach, and her stomach was flat again.
Wow.
And he was like, oh, okay, bet we had a daughter.
Wow.
And she was like, I didn't want to bug you while you're at work.
She's busy.
Yeah, I didn't want to bug you.
All she had to do was take off the fake baby belly, and then she's fine.
Yeah, she was just like, I just wanted to surprise you.
And she's got a brand new vagina and everything.
He did kind of wonder about one little thing. There was one little questionable thing.
The baby was black.
Actually, the baby was white and they were black.
Oh, no.
One little thing. Winifred and John were black. Second.
Now,
and new little baby was white.
I'm confused about why my baby is white when I am black and you was black. And I don't know why this happened.
But you know what? John figured that out real quick.
Oh.
John was like, you know what, though? Paul was half white.
Oh.
And brother JoJo is light-skinned. So I bet my daughter's just going to be a light-skinned.
Okay, but wait. Do we got any redheads up in the mix? Because here we go.
Maybe it's going to be redhead.
Because we know the rules now.
Yeah. Now all redheads are officially black. So he was like, that's probably what it's going to be. My daughter's just going to be redhead and light skin. So now they just have a new family.
They do.
And they're just happy. And later that night, Winifred tells John, I have to tell you something. And he's like, what, babe? What's going on? And Winifred's like, I killed my new best friend, Margaret. I had to kill her. And John was like, what? Why did you have to kill her? And she goes, well, Margaret tried to attack me and take our daughter. So I had to defend our family.
Yeah.
And John was like, serves her right.
Yes.
we tried so hard to get this family. Like, how dare her disrupt what we worked so hard to get. Thank you for defending our family. And then they slept in the bed with their baby, their first night together as a family. What do you think about that?
I still have a couple questions.
John has no questions at all.
He's like, all right, let's go to bed.
We got our daughter.
But can we talk about why, if she tried to kill you, she didn't kill you, shouldn't you still be pregnant with the baby?
No. Wait, what? Margaret. Winifred said Margaret tried to hurt me and take our baby, so I killed Margaret.
Right.
So John was like, good for you for killing Margaret because she don't need to take our baby.
But at the time, she's still pregnant.
No, because he tried to take the baby.
Oh, take the baby.
Yeah.
So she had
she'd had the baby. She tried to steal the baby from him.
Oh, so she's saying she went over there with baby.
Margaret was visiting. She was acting like Margaret was visiting her and the baby and tried to take the baby. So Margaret killed her.
Okay. I got it. I thought baby was still inside.
Oh, no.
Okay, I got you.
No. So
maybe there could have been other people who listening who maybe thought the same thing.
Maybe so.
Maybe one person. Maybe nobody. But it's fine.
So the next day, little Tammy that's still asleep in the car was found about 24 hours later in her mom's car. She had fever. She was a little dehydrated. But other than that, she was just well rested.
Wow. Very well rested.
And now police are searching for her mama, Miss Margaret. And Tammy ends up having to go with Grandpa and the other sisters. And John, it's on the news. And so it's coming out that this baby's found in her mama's car. And here is missing Margaret Sweeney. So John is like, we're going to have to tell the police what happened, Winifred. So he goes to the police 3 days after Tammy is found and Margaret goes missing. And he tells them about Margaret being under the floorboards in their house with their baby. And police come and they search the house and they find Margaret and they see this little white baby and this little black couple. So they take the baby to the hospital. And other than just having some jaundice, the baby is healthy. And that baby is now given to Margaret's father. So this elderly dad has 5 daughters who, if I was Margaret's daddy, they'd all be in foster care. Ma'am, you're not going to have all these kids and give them to me, and I'm supposed to be living my best retired life. Give me the address to foster care, and I'll go visit them and send them some school clothes, but I'm not going to raise all these kids.
I'm saying.
So, he ended up naming the baby Margaret Teresa after the mama that was dead. That was sweet, I thought.
That's very precious.
Now, Winifred was arrested on November 17th for
she should have been
murder.
For everything and everything.
Conspiracy, concealment of a crime, recklessly endangering another person. Good old nephew Robert was arrested on the same day for hindering apprehension, conspiracy, and recklessly endangering another person, I guess Tammy.
Yeah.
During questioning, Margaret told police that she was desperate to be a mother and that she was helping Margaret.
She was.
Because Margaret actually fainted when she was at the house.
Oh,
and so that she had to give her a C-section to save the baby.
Oh, well, good for you,
and
girl.
That she panicked and killed her
As one would. If
with a hatchet and a gun.
If I faint, if I'm a pregnant fainting person, please kill me.
With a hatchet
and a gun.
20 times.
And then put me underneath the wooden floor.
That is.
And take my other baby.
Normal reaction.
That's what you should do.
That's
That's what one does.
Response.
I don't know what the issue is.
And she said that she was pregnant, but she had a smortion on the day that she killed Margaret. But she felt guilty about the smortion, so she took Margaret's baby.
Bitch wasn't even ever pregnant. Bitch, your smortion. That's not even pregnant.
This is a long ass day.
How
you gonna perform a C-section?
I want to tell you,
smortion.
if you're gonna have a smortion, it's gonna take you are not gonna be feeling good after that.
You're doing a whole lot. You done cook dinner. You done babysit a kid.
Yeah, you done
performed a C-section.
And no.
You done a whole lot in one day.
You were never pregnant, ma'am.
She was not pregnant at all.
You was never pregnant.
But also the doctor said she had never, ever been pregnant, ever. So all those 6 or 7 miscarriages,
she faked it all.
She faked them all. So when they questioned John had no idea. And so they were like, John, did you ever go to the doctor with her? And he was like, no. Did you ever see any proof or see any tests or did they have ultrasounds?
Maybe, I don't know.
And John was like, no, he just believed her because he loved her.
You need to get John.
It's called blind faith.
It's called gaslighting and
it's very common, blind faith. I've never heard of it, but
that's probably what I have. God, I'm stupid as all get out.
He just believed everything that she said. But she was probably so believing.
She was so rude for all of that. I don't like her.
So she had psychological testing.
And what did she have?
She was competent to stand trial, even though she was diagnosed with schizophrenia.
Oh, hell.
But she was found not guilty by reason of insanity and was sentenced to a real psychiatric hospital. A real one, off of American Horror Story Asylum.
Yes. Did she have to wear the jacket with the...
Yes.
Yes.
But this was so bad, there was... it ended up having to be closed down because of torture and abuse.
Yeah,
and people
that's what
were being
saying.
neglected.
Those are the hospitals I'm saying they need to bring back.
Bring them
I still don't think. Yes,
they were doing different type of testing.
Good,
and,
they should. They should do they should do all kinds of brain testing to them.
Dying.
Yes, kill them all.
Lack of care.
Good, they deserve it. They're crazy.
But they end up putting innocent people that don't need to be.
Well, then it is what it is.
So by the next year, 1 year later, doctors thought she was cured and asked for her to get out.
I'm
but
sure
the judge
she was cured.
said no.
No, you ain't cured from your mental
2 years
issue.
after 2 years after it all happened, she was declared sane and her schizophrenia was managed. So the hospital asked for her to be released, and she was allowed to be released in 1977 after only 2 years. So she changed her name to Frida Howard and then to Frida Furman, and she died on August 4th, 1997. So she lived a long, long life.
Did she have any more babies?
Never had kids. Never had kids.
Good.
Margaret Sweeney's daughters were raised by their grandpa and were able to live a normal life after all this craziness died down.
I'm glad that she died because we need her out of here.
But she just died in 1997.
That was 3 years ago.
Just now.
Just now. Even though it was 25.
I know.
8 years ago. 28. If I do math, it's the first time. Wow.
That is it. The very first fetal abduction, and she was Black, and she kidnapped a white baby
and
try to pretend like
I'm
it was
gonna
us.
need you.
That was a twist.
Do your research a little bit more.
Find a different.
You're gonna have to kidnap a baby of your same race, ma'am. Please.
And then you have a husband that fell for it.
At least she did a good C-section.
Yeah.
At least it was clean cut and it was safe, and the baby lived. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know where baby is, but maybe
I think
baby
the last
will come on the
two
podcast.
that we've done.
Do you think we can get baby on the podcast?
Where's the baby? Where is? We need to find Margaret Teresa.
We gotta find her
in Philadelphia.
We're gonna find. Okay, you know what?
Last two fetal.
Next week, I'm gonna go to Philadelphia. I headed Philly.
I was just in Philadelphia. I had a good serial killer to do in there too.
Okay, well, we'll do that. We'll figure it out. We'll find her. Or if anybody else knows anybody in Philadelphia named Margaret Teresa who was stolen out of their mom's belly, then please
born
let us
in
know.
1974.
Email us, Instagram us, snap whatever us, do something to us.
Born in Philly, moved to New Jersey, raised by grandpa, has 5 sisters. Wait, 4 sisters?
Wonder if she changed her name. Well, we'll just say that her name is Margaret Teresa or whatever. What's her name?
Margaret Teresa. I don't know.
Whatever happened to Tammy?
Where's Tammy? Tammy would have been older. Where's Tammy?
Maybe Tammy will come on the podcast. Okay, we're getting either Margaret Teresa or Tammy on the podcast.
Tammy, your name is now age appropriate.
Okay, so anybody out there who knows Margaret Teresa or Tammy, let us know. Send them on over, and we got this.
All right.
Great story. I mean, terrible, but great.
Yeah, terrible, but great. That is it. That's all we got for you. We will see y'all next week for a whole new week of Bloody Happy Hour. Send this episode or last week's episode to a friend.
I do have a couple ideas, so.
Don't forget to
stay aware,
stay alive,
and always be DTF.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.